Hello friends and welcome back to the C.Gars channel. Today me and Billy back to take a look at the Cuban and New World cigars of the month for February. Billy, what you got today?
So I have the Cuban cigar of the month this time, and I have the San Cristobal La Punta cigar. This one comes in at 5.5 inches long with a ring gauge of 52 and of course is a bellicoso shaped cigar. Fun little fact, this one is named after the small fort that you will find located on the point of the entrance to the Havana harbor in Cuba. So don't know how that'll affect the taste of the cigar, but a fun little fact to keep in mind. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. How about you?
Nice. So I have the New World cigar. I have the wonderful Alec Orchant Seleccion Shorty cigar. This is a 5-inch cigar with a 50 ring gauge. This one has, if I remember rightly, it has a Honduran wrapper, a Honduran and Nicaraguan binder, and a Nicaraguan filler. This also features a double binder on it, so this is going to slow down the enjoyment time, so I'm really looking forward to getting into this. I haven't had one of these for probably best of 3 years, I reckon.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure we had one back in the day, but yeah, it's got to be pushing 3-4 years ago now.
Yeah, but
be a good one to revisit.
Yeah, exactly. But if I remember rightly, it was a really good smoke, so let's get cutting it and then we'll get into it.
Looking forward to it. So we're coming to the closing stage of the first third of these cigars today, and I'm going to start with the San Cristobal. So in terms of burn, I cannot fault it. It's been pretty straight the whole way through. Ash is a little bit flaky. It fell off on me a little bit earlier on, and yeah, it's not the most pristine looking ash that I've seen. In terms of draw, I would say that this is on the tighter side. I've had to keep squeezing and playing around with it to try and open it up a little bit more. It might be a case of just using a tool, putting it down, creating a bit more airflow, but I can't complain too much. It is tight, but it's burning well, it's smoking well, so yeah, ups and downs, I guess. In terms of flavor, I would say this is a very, very mellow and light flavored cigar so far. There's hints of sweetness here and there, but for the most part, it's kind of like a cedar wood or a light wood, and that's kind of the body of the cigar for now. There's not too much going on. I'm expecting a little bit of spice, maybe a little bit more strength coming towards the final thirds, but until we get down there, we'll never know. So we'll take it down, and hopefully I'll be able to give you a little bit more later on.
Nice. I'll move on to the Orchant Selection, the Alec Orchant Seleccion Shorty. So I just want to say, originally I smelt the cigar before I lit it, and it was a very fresh, sort of those barnyard notes. I said to you, it smells a bit like a farm.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure what to expect because it's been a while since I had one of these. I remember enjoying it previously, but I don't remember all too much about it. I've had so many, so it's hard to remember them all. But as soon as I was lighting the cigar, I was hit with a chocolate on the nose, and I was just blown away because I did not expect that.
No. At
all. And I don't remember that from previously either. I think I had a different Vitola. I think I had the chubby previously, so maybe that affected the taste and the smell, but I was blown away by that. Construction wise, I've had no issues whatsoever. The draw is perfect. The ash held on for a good inch or so before I knocked it off. And yeah, I'm just really impressed with it so far. Moving on to flavor notes. It's got the most prominent sweetness out of any cigar, like out of any natural cigar.
So you mean just with it, like excluding any infused cigars, anything that's
exclude any infused cigars. This has such a prominent sweetness to it. I don't know exactly what it is, but I said to you off camera, there is it's like a cedar sweetness, but I think mixed with a bit of salt, and I don't know, that mixture is just really nice. It brings me back to my first ever Cuban cigar, weirdly, which was the Monte Cristo Petit Tubos. Now, that had that same sweetness to it, and that really blew me away, and I think that's why I'm enjoying this so much so far. Alongside this, I'm finding that the further I get down, the more mature the notes are. So I'm now starting, ever so slightly, just as we're recording this, starting to notice more of like a deep earthiness, or maybe a slight spice ever so slight, but it's hardly there. I don't know, man. Like sometimes it's hard to get your words out, and I'm really enjoying this. Like so far, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. And again, with that double binder as well, that
slowing the burn right down.
We've been sampling these 25 minutes maybe. Obviously, you've been doing work. I've been doing work here and there, but I've been chuffing on this, and I'm not even in the middle third yet. So it's crazy.
Yeah, I think that matched with the tight draw on this is kind of leveling the playing field a little bit, and we're kind of staying on the same plane, which is quite nice. 9 times out of 10, it's either one of us having to slow down or speed up a little bit, and so it's creating a nice experience. As I say, hopefully in my case, it'll open up a little bit more and offer me a little bit more. But with all that being said, I'm not saying that I'm disregarding this cigar. It is, for what it is, very enjoyable. It's very smooth. It's very mellow. But I'm just expecting a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll take it down and we'll see where it takes us.
Okay. So we've come through to the middle third now, and for the Alec Bradley Orchant Selection, I found that the flavour profile has died down a little bit, but what I'm noticing is there is a lot of like a deep chocolate note. It reminds me of a hot chocolate, which I had this morning. Very, very nice.
I was going to say, that's a staple for your breakfast.
Alongside this, it's also reminding me of sweet and salty popcorn. So quite a combination there.
One that works though.
Yes.
Sweet and salty.
Yeah, I mean that sweet, the saltiness on my lips and the sweetness on the palate just goes hand in hand. Like I can't complain whatsoever with this. I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, good. That's all I've got to say so far. Actually, that's a lie. We've not talked about strength yet, or at least I haven't.
No.
Light to medium, maybe. I'm not really getting all too much. Not really thought about any strength. So yeah, I'd say light to medium right now.
Fair enough. The San Cristobal La Punta, I will say that this has kind of remained very similar the whole way through. Remains very light in flavour, well balanced, a woody profile as an overall with hints of sweetness coming in and out. I would say as we moved throughout the middle third of the cigar, a slight bitterness was introduced here and there. I would say it was closer to a leather, say, than more like coffee or something like that. But again, well balanced, and I can't really complain. I would say that this is probably a good afternoon cigar. So after a lunchtime, before a big meal or something, I think this would go hand in hand with that. In terms of strength, very light. I haven't really felt anything from it. Maybe in the final third it'll pick up and we'll get a little bit more strength maybe. But yeah, overall, really enjoyable, smooth, mellow. And yeah, I just want to go back to construction though with this, because I said to you off camera, it feels like it's done the polar opposite. Yeah. I bared with it. Is that the right word? Bared with it?
I guess so.
So I gave it a little bit of time, right? I didn't use any tools to try and open it up. I gave it a little bit of time, played with it a little bit, rolled it around, and it's opened up dramatically. The smoke output increased a decent amount to the point where the flavour was more pronounced than it was in the first. So maybe that's where I got that bitterness from. The ash, I said to begin with, was really flaky. It kind of stiffened up a little bit. It wasn't so flaky up through that middle third. So a nice touch, I guess. Yeah, I just can't really complain, to be perfectly honest. As I say, it started off really tight, and as we got through that first third, it did open up. So that's kind of eradicated that issue there. So yeah, onwards and upwards so far. Yeah,
I think there's a good contrast between the two, obviously, with the flavour profile, like the sweetness of this and the sort of mellowness of that cigar. So I think the sampler is a great option for you guys to try both and see what you prefer.
Yeah, it seems like it gives a polar opposite experience.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, definitely one to pick up and try out. But I suppose we'll take these down to our fingers burning and check in with the guys a little bit later on.
Yeah. So we've come towards the end of the cigars now, and for the Alec Bradley Orchant Selection, I found that the end is a little bit more bitter than the first two thirds. I'm getting notes of leather, which is quite prominent on the palate, and alongside this, I'm getting some nuts in there too, like salted nuts, which is quite nice. I do quite like that now. I think that's it contrasts well with the leather and that sweetness from the first two thirds. apart from this, not really much has changed. I would say that I am quite surprised at the draw now though, because typically when you reach the end of a cigar, it gets quite hot. I'm not really finding this hot. Still got quite a cool smoke, which is refreshing, because typically I'll get to this point and think, right, it's getting a bit too hot for me now, and I'm gonna have to put the cigar down. Maybe that bitterness is gonna become more extreme and a bit more hot, which may make me want to put the cigar down, but currently I'm pretty comfortable with where I'm at.
Nice.
I'm really happy with this. I think Mitchell has done such a fantastic job coming up with this blend. Really.
He does seem to do very well with his Orchant Seleccion cigars.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. Like, well, we say this all the time. Like, when it comes to exclusive cigars, like whether it's Michelero or an Orchant Selection, and we push it, people think, oh, you're just pushing it because it's your brand. But genuinely, these are phenomenal blends, and Mitchell is such a big name in the industry. He would not put his name on anything that isn't of high quality. So that really says a lot about it, and yeah, definitely grab yourself the sampler because it's phenomenal.
Nice. Seems like you've had a good experience with that cigar.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Good. Okay, so moving on to the San Cristobal. There's not really too much to report in terms of change into the final third of the cigar. I would say that it's very much the same throughout first, second, final third. If anything, the bitterness has ramped up a little bit, and the strength is now sitting at kind of a medium. Other than that, no extravagant changes in terms of flavor profile as such. I would just say, as the cigar's heated up and come down towards the kind of point of the cigar, it's starting to crack a little bit, and the wrapper's kind of cracking and moving away a little bit. But, you know, I mean, give it 2-3 more minutes and I'm probably going to be done with the cigar anyway. So
if not, you've got some Siglu.
Yeah, if not, yeah, by all means, bit of Siglu, solve that problem straight off the bat. But yeah, as for the cigar as an overall, it's a very mellow, mild smoke, very enjoyable, quite one-dimensional. There's not extravagant peaks and troughs in flavour profiles and things like that. It's quite a constant flavour profile, which for some people, or most people, that is kind of what they're after, right? And I think every cigar definitely serves its purpose. And for this one, around midday, probably bang on.
Yeah.
It's definitely a good cigar to introduce yourself, if anything, to Cuban cigars. But yeah, nothing really more to say about it, to be perfectly honest. It's been enjoyable. I'll probably pick one up here and there for, let's say, mid-afternoon smoke, but definitely pick one up for yourself and see how your experience is with it. Obviously, we always say it's subjective. Taste is subjective.
Yeah.
And for me, is it in my top 10 cigars? Probably not. But for most people or other people that enjoy this particular profile, it definitely is up there. And as I say, as soon as I get past that little bit of a tight draw, it opened up really, really well. Well balanced, so enjoyable.
Wonderful. Well, you guys know what to do. Like and subscribe, and let us know down below if you've tried these cigars and what you think of them. If not, like I said, grab the sampler because you will be saving a bit of money on that too. There'll be a link in the description for that. But as always, stay safe and happy herfing. Peace.